Welcome back to Friday Night Live on this 8th of April, 2011. I know what year it is. I'm Mike Rickard along with Tony and Cindy. Ben Carroll over there on the big board. And, of course, we're on television at WHO TV 13.2, Mediacom channels 113, 246, brought to you by YourGameNow.com. And Aaron Gurnis at the helm tonight. We're going to have a conversation here in a minute with Mount Vernon girls track and field coach Bill Thomsen. We're also brought to you by the Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, reminding you that texting kills. Log on to iowagtsb.org. The Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau reminding you that it's thumbs down on texting. And, of course, brought to you by Casey's General Stores. And now let's go up to Northeast Iowa. He's Bill Thomsen. He's kind enough to join us this evening on Friday Night Live. How are you, Bill?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Well, I always enjoy an opportunity to talk to the track coaches. Don't get as much recognition as you guys deserve, and you certainly have done a superb job and had some great athletes up there in the last few years in Mount Vernon with all girls athletics.
Absolutely. They are very strong, and this year being a combined Mount Vernon-Lisbon program really has made it even stronger.
Well, let's talk about this returning state champion team out of Class 3A. And Amanda Platty, let's start in the field events, one of the top discus throwers in the state, outstanding basketball player, just a great athlete. And she's one of them that you're going to count for some points to come out of the field events venue for you.
Absolutely. And that's what benefits us, is that we got them almost everywhere.
Your relay teams, that's important to you. You've had some pretty good balance. This is a pretty deep team, and you've got some kids you can mix and match a little bit between their individual events and your relay events. Talk about your thinking right now, and so far your teams are doing pretty well as far as getting their times in there as some of the tops in the state in the relays.
Yeah, we've concentrated, especially this time of year, to really get our relays clicking, just to make sure we can see what the mix needs to be, so that we then can divide the girls up into individual two, so we can score the points both in the relayers and in the individuals, so we can work it out right. And in the last couple of years, it's worked real well for us.
What would you say is your strongest event as far as the relays? Is that your distance and middle distance events?
Middle distance girls are probably by far my strongest girls. My sprinters have always come through and done well. We've placed in the 4x1 and the 4x2. Well, we placed in all the relays last year, but the middle distance girls, especially Alex Wilson and Holly Salzbrenner, and these girls have always been real strong. Hurdles are real strong this year. My shuttle team's coming back with basically the entire team, and Bree Reeder is really running very well. So it's been a really nice combination. We lost a number of very talented girls last year, but the other girls are coming on real well for me.
We're talking to Bill Thomsen, Mount Vernon girls track and field coach. What meet are you at tonight?
We're over here at Clear Creek, Amana, and they've got pretty much the top 3A schools here: Benton Community, Solon, ourselves, and Williamsburg. So it's been a good meet so far.
Probably great conditions for this evening, and that's always a welcome to any coaches. We talked about in the opening as you try to qualify your teams to get down to Drake, and the key is to have some cooperative weather. Looks like the next few weeks you're going to have that capability of getting the teams to qualify to get down to Drake.
Oh, absolutely, and that is a lot of the kids' dreams. So, Drake Relays is one of those things that just doesn't happen in most states. So it's nice to have something like that right here in Iowa.
Well, it doesn't hurt to have some outstanding athletes. This is a very senior-dominated group. These kids have done everything in volleyball and basketball and track and field and in every sport so far in their careers. And a lot of them would like to leave, as they wind down with the softball season this summer with some more championships. And let's talk about one. And she was named a high award in the girls' state tournament. Sarah Ryan, the senior, she's in your hurdles, and Holly Stalsbrenner, the outstanding hurdler you have there in the 400.
Yeah, they are both outstanding individuals plus outstanding athletes. Holly Salisbury is just a driven girl with the 400 hurdles, and Sarah Ryan is a girl that first 2 years of high school went tennis, and then they came back out for track for us, and she's now in the 400 hurdles, and she was ninth last year, and I think she doesn't want to go away without medaling, and she's a mainstay in the shuttle too. So it's been just a great combination of those two seniors, and they're quiet leaders, but they lead with their examples really well.
Talked about Alex Wilson for a moment, but when you look last year, it was just an amazing. The senior class that graduated from last year's it was across the state on girls track and field was an amazing group, and Alex Wilson's probably one of them that probably didn't get enough recognition because of the class of those girls that graduated from last year and what they did in their careers. Alex has a chance to make a name for herself this year, don't you think, Coach?
I sure hope so. Yes. She's going to UNI next year to run, and her desire to run is just phenomenal. Again, we're doing nursing a little bit with leg right now, but she definitely wants to be down in the 2:15s, times in the 8s, and then she will do whatever I ask her. I mean, she will run 400s hard. She will run the 15. I mean, she'd go to 3,000 if I told her she had to. But she's just an amazing young lady when she gets on the track.
And we're talking about the senior-dominated team, but to build depth, I'm sure the success of these young ladies through their career, how many of the underclassmen are you counting on this year? And do you have a couple of those kids that have surprised you so far this early track season?
Yeah, I've got about 14 or 15 freshmen out this year, which is the biggest number we normally ever have. And out of that group, I just had a girl jump 15.9 in long jump, which, again, I hadn't had anybody do any more than 13 this year. So all of a sudden she's jumped into place. Her name's Miranda Chapman. And I've got a couple girls that are sprinting well for me that have stepped in. And then I've got a girl named Laura Deininger who stepped in the 4x8 group, which we were looking for like a one more filler, and she ran a good 2:29 the other night. So, no, the young girls are really looking ahead at what the seniors have done for us. And I think they really want to continue it in the years to come.
And that's talking about your sprints a little bit. Not really strong there, but you do have a couple of them. Jessica Binfield in the top 10 in times right now in the state so far. I think the 4th best time recorded. And but you talked about Bree Rader, another one of those young ladies who are posting some pretty good times for you.
Absolutely. And sprints, like I said, it's the combination and relays that the handoffs are good. If they're good, you don't have to have always the very fastest times. You just need good coordinated handoffs. And we've been very fortunate in the last couple of years getting that combination to work well. We got a great anchor in the 4x2 in Courtney Kinslow, who's a senior, and she was outstanding volleyball, basketball, too. And, again, you have that combination. You add those things to it. It's amazing what they will do when they get the opportunity. And really the sprinters have come on quite well. Blakely Martin, for me, is only a sophomore. It's mainly made up, my sprinters are mainly made up of my younger girls. And then, like I said, Bree jumps in there, and Jess Binsfield, and, they just are great compliments to that group of people. So,
Bill Thomsen, we certainly appreciate you taking time in the middle of a track meet up there at Clear Creek to join us this evening on Friday Night Live. We'll see your teams down at the Drake Relays, and, of course, the boys and girls co-ed meet. And, as always, thanks for joining us on Friday Night Live.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much for your help, and I appreciate you calling.
All right, that's Bill Thomsen, and nice to have those kind of athletes up there. And they've had some incredible athletes. Talk about depth. That's what they've had in all the sports.
And that's the key. I mean, numbers is the key. Well, look what he just said. Look what these girls have done. He said the biggest class of freshmen that have ever come into the school to run track. He's got 16 freshmen now. I mean, that's because of these seniors and the leadership and people watching them and showing the enjoyment and winning a state title and all that stuff. That just builds competition, and now all of a sudden the youngsters,
programs.
Yes,
is what it does.
It does build it.
You and I talk about it all the time. It doesn't matter what the sport is. When you have success and you then get the feeder systems, because young kids look up to those girls or boys that have won, and they want to aspire, for championships and of course success. That builds programs. When you got that many freshmen coming in, it's obvious they got the bug up there, these kids, and wanted to participate in track and field, which I love to see those numbers grow across Iowa.
I kind of brought it up when we talked about last year, the young ladies, the seniors that graduated from, the Katie Floods and on and on. I mean, I can name 25 girls, and it was an amazing group of seniors.
Amazing era.
From last year that graduated. So some of these kids who are right there just had to go against some of the best competition in the not just the state of Iowa, but in the country. I mean, these young ladies were posting times that collegiates weren't posting last year.
Well, we saw that at the Drake Relays.
Exactly. And so Alex Wilson was one of those kids, a really good track kid, but just in an era where last year she's kind of under the radar. I think this year she'll make a name for herself. We already know about Alex Gokenauer, but there's not as many young ladies that we're really aware of from last year that are back this year. So these kids are now going to be able to make a statement this year. I think there's a lot more guys this year that are outstanding seniors back this year that'll be fun to watch as they progress to the Drake Relays and the state co-ed track and field.
And when you come down to the Drake Relays in a few weeks, we've got some great Friday Night Live, some of our partners that feed us each and every Friday night. We'll start out with Montana Mike's. It's big steak. In fact, I remember coming in back in the day, I was looking for a great steakhouse coming in from Sioux City for the relays. And for us, it's big steak country, Montana Mike's. It's here in central Iowa, 2 locations, in Newton on 18th Street. But when you come to Des Moines, it's 5030 Northeast 14th Street, right off I-80. Both locations just a stone's throw away from I-80. And Montana Mike's, I got to get you out there. Well, we've eaten the food. And I'll tell you what, the rolls are superb, the steaks. I love Montana Mike's, and I actually dined on it down in Branson prior to them becoming one of our sponsors.
We'll do it after the Grand Blue Mile.
Oh yeah, I got. Well, they've got lean food there for you at Montana Mike's. They got great fish as well. And when you do come down, you bring the family or you bring your team. All play Fanatics Grill and Bar just south of Wells Fargo Arena. A lot of kids had a blast when they came down for boys and girls state basketball and wrestling. It's Des Moines headquarters for you. The ultimate entertainment complex, over 70 arcade games, perfect for kids of all ages. Battlezone laser tag. Bring the team, have some fun, loosen up. Good for up to 30 people at Fanatics Grill and Bar. And of course, they have a full-service restaurant with great food. And if you're going to go shopping on at Valley West Mall, 34 Sports Grill right out there as well, right next to Yonkers, and in Ankeny on White Birch Circle. Tuesday night is Grand Slam Tuesday. It's baseball season. Grand Slam Tuesday. Family of 4 eats for $19.34.
That's a good deal.
That's a great deal.
Yes.
These times, fabulous deal. When we come back, we're going to talk to Glenwood boys track and field coach Mark Starner. What'd you want to hit the whole state tonight? Every pocket? You did a good job.
Covering the state, brother.
That's right.
Covering
Every
the state.
pocket. We'll be back here on Friday Night Live with Glenwood boys track and field coach Mark Starner, and we'll close things down with Ken Hopkins from Limar. Here on Friday Night Live on the Iowa Sports Connection Radio Television Network.